The sound of her moans cut through me like a knife. My wife, Savannah Lockwood, writhing under another man, her nails digging into his back, her breath ragged, her body arching in ways she used to do for me. But not just any man. Ethan Cole, my enemy, my rival. The man who once tried to get me killed on a mission gone wrong. And now, here he was, deep inside my wife, their bodies tangled in the sheets I had bought, on the bed I had slept in, under the roof I had paid for. The scent of sweat, lust, and betrayal thickened the air. Savannah's eyes fluttered open, her lips still parted from the pleasure he was giving her, pleasure that was supposed to be mine. Then she saw me. Her face drained of color. I leaned against the doorway, arms crossed, my pulse steady. My jaw clenched so hard I could have cracked a tooth. She gasped, "Ethan?" He just smirked, not even bothering to grab a damn thing to cover himself. Arrogant bastard. He thought he had won, but he had no idea who he was dealing with. I stepped forward, my boots heavy against the floor. Savannah yanked the sheets up to cover herself, but it was useless. I had already seen everything, every filthy detail, every sinful betrayal, because I didn't just catch them in the act. I had been watching them for days, filming them, documenting every secret touch, every whispered moan, every shameful lie. Oh, they had no idea what was coming. Let's back up a bit. My name is Griffin Lockwood, 35 years old, a decorated USA military soldier, sniper, and intelligence specialist. I've spent the last 10 years eliminating threats, protecting my country, and fighting wars most people don't even know exist. I've seen blood, betrayal, and the darkest corners of humanity. But nothing prepared me for the war waiting at home. 6 years ago, I met Savannah. She was breathtaking. Wild green eyes, golden brown hair that made you want to grab a fistful. Curves that could make a man lose his damn mind. But it wasn't just her body that hooked me. It was her fire. She wanted me, craved me, needed me. Or at least, that's what I thought. I married her thinking she would be loyal, that no matter how many times I was deployed, she would wait for me, that she would only be mine. I was a fool. Because the second I left, she opened her legs for my enemy. I should have noticed it sooner. The late-night phone calls, the sudden obsession with her appearance, the way she tensed every time I mentioned Ethan's name. But I ignored it. Like a damn idiot, I trusted her. Until one of my military buddies tipped me off. Said he overheard Ethan bragging in a bar about how he was screwing some soldier's wife. Said the guy was laughing, taking bets on how long it would take before I found out. I had my suspicions. So I did what any trained intelligence officer would do. I set up cameras in my own home. And what I found would destroy them. Now, standing in my bedroom, staring at the woman I had once worshipped and the man I hated more than anything, I smiled. Ethan finally spoke, dragging a hand through his damp, sweat-slicked hair. Well, look who finally decided to come home. Savannah whimpered. Griffin, I pulled out my phone and pressed play. Their moans filled the room. Their betrayal played out in high definition. Savannah gasped. Ethan paled. They realized in that moment that their little secret wasn't a secret anymore. I chuckled darkly. You two are gonna pay for this. Then I turned and walked out, slamming the door behind me. Because this was just the beginning. I walked out of that room without looking back. But make no mistake, this wasn't over. Not by a damn long shot. Savannah and Ethan had no idea what was coming for them. They thought I'd explode in a fit of rage, that I'd scream, punch walls, throw things around like some heartbroken fool. But I wasn't that kind of man. No, I was a soldier, a sniper, a man trained in patience, precision, and calculated destruction. And if they thought they could humiliate me, betray me, and walk away unscathed, they were about to learn the hard way just how wrong they were. I got in my car, my fingers drumming against the steering wheel as a smirk tugged at the corner of my lips. The plan was already in motion, because while they had been rolling around in my bed, thinking they were getting away with it, I had been setting the stage for something much, much bigger. I checked my phone. The video was already uploaded, but not to the public. Not yet. I had sent it to a few very important people first. People who would ensure this betrayal didn't just ruin their night. It would ruin their lives. The next morning, Savannah woke up to chaos. Her phone was ringing nonstop. Text messages, missed calls, notifications blowing up her screen. The moment she unlocked her phone, her world imploded. Because there it was. Her sex tape, her filthy, shameful, moaning, naked affair, sent directly to her family, her friends, her colleagues, her boss. The people who thought she was the perfect wife, the sweet, loyal, devoted woman. She screamed, her hands shaking as she scrolled through the messages. "Mom, Savannah, what have you done?" Her best friend. "Tell me this isn't real. Oh my God, Savannah." Her boss. "Don't bother coming in today. We'll discuss your termination soon." Her father. "You are no longer my daughter. Do not contact this family again." She started hyperventilating, her hands in her hair, tears spilling down her cheeks. Then she saw the worst part. The video had been sent to Ethan's wife. Meanwhile, across town, Ethan woke up to his wife, Natalie Cole, standing over him, shaking with fury. His bags were packed and thrown at the foot of the bed. His wedding ring? Smashed to pieces on the nightstand. Natalie had already seen everything. The video, the betrayal, the filth. She had saved it, forwarded it, and ensured it reached every single person in Ethan's life. "You sick, disgusting bastard," she spat, her voice trembling. "You did this with your best friend's wife?" Ethan tried to speak, but she cut him off, slapping him so hard his head snapped to the side. "You destroyed our marriage, our family. For what? For some cheap, dirty affair?" Ethan's face twisted. "Natalie, save it." She grabbed his bags and threw them at him. "Get out." The door slammed behind him, leaving him standing there, shirtless, confused, and completely fucked. But this was just the warm-up. Savannah, broken and humiliated, called me, begging, pleading, crying. "Griffin, please, I swear I made a mistake. I love you. Just tell me what to do. Tell me how to fix this." I put her on speakerphone, leaned back in my chair and smirked. "You want to fix this, Savannah?" My voice was cold, deadly. "Then pack your bags and get out of my house. Everything in that place belongs to me. You belong to the streets now." She choked on a sob. "Please, don't do this." I hung up because I wasn't done. Ethan had taken something from me. Now I was about to take everything from him. I picked up my phone and made another call. "Yeah, it's time. Do it." That night, Ethan got an unexpected visit. The military. His entire career was on the line. Because fraternization, dishonorable conduct, and engaging in extramarital affairs with the wife of another military officer? That wasn't just frowned upon, it was punishable. And thanks to my connections, every single superior officer now had a copy of his little scandal. He was done. Finished. Career over. Reputation in the gutter. But I wasn't done yet, because the final piece of my revenge would be personal. And trust me, this is where things really get dirty. Ethan thought he had lost everything. His wife, his career, his reputation, gone. But the truth? I wasn't finished. Not even close. Savannah had tried calling me nonstop for the past 24 hours, her messages going from desperate apologies to full-on breakdowns. I ignored every single one. She had made her choice, and now she was going to drown in the consequences. But Ethan was about to learn that when you betray a soldier, you don't just lose, you suffer. The setup. I had spent the last 6 years perfecting my patience. As a sniper, waiting for the perfect shot was my job. And now, Ethan was in my crosshairs. I had my final move planned, a move so deliciously cruel, it would destroy him in ways he never saw coming. Because, you see, Ethan had a secret, a very dirty, very illegal secret. And thanks to my intelligence training, I had all the proof I needed. That night, Ethan was staying at some cheap motel, completely alone. His phone buzzed, a message from an unknown number. "Meet me in room 405. I have something you want." Ethan frowned, but curiosity and desperation got the better of him. He went to room 405, and when he walked in, there she was, a woman, drop-dead gorgeous, long, sleek legs, full lips painted blood red, a body that screamed trouble. She was draped across the bed, wearing nothing but a silk robe, her golden skin glowing under the dim motel light. Her name was Isabella, and she was one of mine, a professional, a honey trap, a woman who knew exactly how to ruin a man without ever pulling a trigger. Ethan's Adam's apple bobbed. "Who the hell are you?" She smiled, stretching out like a lazy cat. "A friend, one who knows how badly you need a distraction." He should have walked away. He didn't. The next morning, Ethan woke up to an absolute nightmare. Because that one night with Isabella, it had been recorded. Every single second. Every filthy little move. And not just that. Drugs, oh yeah. That little bottle of whiskey she had poured for him. Laced. Enough to put him in a compromising situation. And now, that video had been sent to his commanding officers, his wife's divorce lawyer, and best of all, the police. Ethan got arrested that afternoon. Possession of illegal substances. Disgraced, handcuffed, shoved into the back of a police car as cameras flashed, reporters swarmed, and his former friends whispered behind his back. He tried to fight it, tried to say he was set up. But the evidence, overwhelming. The military cut him off, honor stripped, pension gone, future erased. And me? I watched it all unfold from a distance, a glass of bourbon in my hand, a smirk curling my lips. Revenge wasn't just sweet, it was intoxicating. Savannah had destroyed our marriage. Ethan had destroyed our friendship. And now, I had destroyed them both. But there was one final move left. One last twist in this beautifully wicked game. Because while Savannah was crying herself to sleep every night, drowning in her shame, she had no idea who I was about to move on with. And trust me, This ending is going to break her. Savannah thought she had hit rock bottom. She had lost her husband, her reputation, her friends. Even her own family had turned their backs on her after the scandal exploded. Everywhere she went, whispers followed. That's Griffin Lockwood's cheating wife. Did you see the video? She was begging for it. Disgusting. Her husband was out risking his life, and she was spreading her legs for his enemy. She became a living joke. But what she didn't know, I wasn't finished with her yet, because her real punishment was still coming. And this was going to be the most brutal, most deliciously twisted move I'd ever made. 2 weeks later, Savannah was desperate, broke, homeless, shunned. She had been fired from her job. Her boss wanted nothing to do with the cheating whore, whose face was now plastered all over the internet. She had tried staying with friends, but none of them wanted to be associated with her. And her family? Her father's last words before slamming the door in her face had been, "You are dead to us." So when her phone rang one night, and she saw my name on the screen, she answered instantly. "Griffin, please talk to me. I'm so sorry." I cut her off with a chuckle. "Funny. You weren't sorry when you were on your back for Ethan." She sobbed. "I messed up. I was weak. But I love you." "Oh, sweetheart." My voice was mocking, slow, cruel. "You don't love me. You loved the life I gave you. And you lost it." Silence. I could hear her shaking on the other end, her breath ragged. She was breaking, exactly how I wanted. Then I dropped the bomb. "But you know what? I might forgive you." Her breath hitched. You will?" I grinned. "Of course. After all, we had something real once, didn't we?" She nodded so fast I could hear it through the phone. Yes, Griffin. Please, I'll do anything. Just let me come home, and I'll prove to you that I can be better. I belong to you. Only you." I hummed. That's what I thought. Then I texted her an address. "Meet me here, tonight. Wear something sexy." She gasped, her desperation dripping through the phone. I will. I swear, Griffin, I won't mess up again." I hung up. And then I laughed, because Savannah had no idea what she was walking into. The trap closes. That night, Savannah walked into the hotel suite. She had gone all out, red dress hugging her curves, high heels, lips painted a sinful shade of crimson. She wanted to be desired again. She wanted me. She thought this was the beginning of her redemption. But what she saw when she stepped inside shattered her soul, because there I was, sitting on a chair, whiskey in hand, looking like I owned the whole damn world. And across my lap was Isabella, the same woman I had used to destroy Ethan. She was wearing nothing but a silk robe, legs draped over me, fingers tracing slow, teasing circles on my chest. She smirked at Savannah. "Oh, honey," Isabella purred, "you didn't actually think he'd take you back, did you?" Savannah's face drained of all color, her lips parted, trembling. "Griffin, what is this?" I leaned back, my smirk widening. "This." I gestured lazily between me and Isabella. "This is me moving on." Her knees buckled. She clutched the doorframe like the whole world had just caved in on her. I swirled my whiskey glass, enjoying every second. "You see, Savannah." I took a slow sip. "You thought you could betray me and get away with it. You thought I'd be weak, that I'd take you back, that I'd forgive you. I stood up, walking toward her. She flinched, her mascara-streaked eyes desperate. But you said you might forgive me. I chuckled. Yeah, I lied. She let out a heartbroken sob. Griffin, please, I have nothing left. I need you. I love you. I tilted my head, looking at her like she was pathetic. Then I whispered the final blow. I don't love you, Savannah. I never will again. You're just used up. And then I stepped aside, revealing the hidden camera set up behind me. She froze. What is that? Isabella smirked, adjusting her robe. Live stream, baby. You just embarrassed yourself in front of 100,000 people. Savannah collapsed. She let out a soul-crushing wail, realizing that this moment, her final humiliation, was being watched by the world. And me? I turned my back on her and walked away. The ultimate revenge wasn't just ruining her life. It was making sure she knew she would never, ever get me back. Savannah disappeared after that night. Last I heard, she was bartending at some hole-in-the-wall place, barely making enough to survive. No one wanted to be seen with her. No one wanted to hire her. Ethan, still rotting in prison, career gone, reputation destroyed, and me, I thrived. I moved on, found someone better, built a life where I was respected, loved, and feared by the right people. Because if there's one thing this whole experience taught me, betrayal doesn't just deserve payback. It deserves complete and utter destruction. And I delivered. Game over.